not only does it get numbers up, but it also allows for, like you said, that reduced amount of space because you can just have people call in to this call
Yeah.
center
And reach, you can help people
all over the country.
everywhere,
Right.
all over the country with that, So, yeah, we're looking into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strickland says Dr. Livegood, I guess at Georgia Sports South.
Dr. Livegood.
Living good.
Oh,
he works a lot with Gwinnett High School.
Oh man, that's so funny. I literally just so Dr. Livegood is an orthopedic, and I actually know his physician's assistant. His name is Akash or something like that. He's Dr. Livegood's physician's assistant is one of our doctor's nephews. It's funny that you mentioned that. He's good though. He's really good. He's very, very good. They specialize in sports, and people come like from all over. Athletes come up from all over to see him. But he's on the orthopedic side. So, like I said, when somebody who's trained, if you take a chef who's trained in Chinese cuisine and you give him noodles, he's probably going to make something closer to ramen than spaghetti, right? So it's just they're going to do what they're trained to do. So if you go to Dr. Livegood, he will do what he does to the best degree, and I've heard a lot of great things about him. And here's the thing, like, let's say you go in with back pain and Dr. Livegood finds a herniation. Dr. Livegood's trained to treat that herniation with medication and maybe a surgery or something like that, right? And he's going to do a great job, and the surgery is going to go well, and you're going to feel great, right? But on the same aspect, you didn't even consider the fact that you might have not even needed that surgery in the first place. And you could have completely done that holistically and not put the extra stress on your liver, not put the extra stress of medications on your body. You see what I mean?
Right.
So even though he's a good doctor in what he does, doesn't mean that approach is necessarily the right way to take.
I agree.
Right? So it just depends.
So what are you? Now I gotta ask this, since you guys use holistic approaches. What are you guys' thoughts on using medical marijuana to treat things and using the more holistic approach like CBD? What are your thoughts on those? So
CBD's. So here's the thing. So I like it better than opioids.
Right.
Okay. 100%. Right. So if you're on opioids and you're in a lot of pain, I definitely like it. Now, remember, I'm not a doctor, okay? Just to be completely clear, I'm purely on the business side, so I'm not giving any medical advice in any way. But this is just my personal opinion. I like it better in that case. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, even if it's a natural suppressant or a synthetic suppressant, they're still both suppressants, right?
Right.
If you're dealing with pain, you need to figure out why that pain is there, and you need to get rid of the root cause of that pain. Now, there are people who have chronic pain that lasts forever, and if they need something to cope, I totally support medical marijuana, CBD. They are natural. The body can recognize them. The body can filter them and process them more efficiently than they can do opioids.
Right.
But do I think it's necessary for that to be a long-term solution? No, we have at our clinics treated people with chronic pain, and we've rid them of their chronic pain. So I don't see why someone with chronic pain should just settle for medical marijuana and use that for the rest of their life when they could fix themselves, right?
I'm in total agreement with you. I think there's been this kind of wave of medical marijuana and people thinking that it's like the end all be all cure for pain and everything. And I'm not on board with that yet. Yeah. And I take more of your approach. Why would you want to just, suppress the symptoms when you could actually solve it or figure it out? And
Exactly.
I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah. But if someone's like in super pain and like in the midst of their treatment.
Right. And they need something to kind of suppress it down a little bit.
Correct.
Just to manage
it's
it.
Better than taking an opioid.
Correct.
And getting addicted. Right.
Right. I mean, obviously there are better solutions than the opioids that big pharma kind of promotes. Yep. So what is your opinions on big pharma then?
It's a business, right?
Right.
It's a business. And, many years ago, we were dying and we needed drugs, and drugs saved us. Right. And I'm not
well said.
I'm not an anti-drug guy. You know, drugs are there for a reason. They save people in situations of dire need. You know, but when you run it like a business, I think pharmaceuticals should be run by a collective, you know, group of people, like a trust or something like that, because you're playing with people's lives. You know,
Right.
When you let a corporation run a pharmaceutical company, I mean, I run a business. I could easily um, just screw people over and make a lot of money, right? I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, but I could easily do that. Some of these pharmaceutical companies, I mean, they're playing like drugs are candy. You know, they're just producing these things, getting people addicted, just produce, and I can't see how a big pharmaceutical empire can ever support the elimination of a drug, you know, or I'm sorry, the elimination of a disease. Diseases are their money. If as a business, if you're a restaurant business, and you know, would you ever invest in the elimination of people getting hungry? Like, would you invest in a pill that just made people not be hungry and not crave
Hell
food?
no. Yeah, I
Right?
mean, completely
You
right.
wouldn't do that. That would just be like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
The dumbest move you can make.
Why would Taco Bell give you like an appetite suppressant before you walked in? You would buy less. It's just stupid. So when pharmaceutical companies act like they're, you know, the biggest, nicest people in the world by donating to all these research groups, it's all fake. I don't believe in any of that. You know, it's a business at the end of the day, and it's evil. It's evil right now. The way it's being run. Drugs are good. Drugs are necessary, but the way it's being run right now, I don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a viewer that says, I've got a question. What would you say to someone who thinks they want to become a doctor, but the fact that med school is so expensive scares them away since there aren't any positive, that would be that they would want to be a doctor?
So you're asking the right guy. I went to UGA. I was pre-med. I took the MCAT. I got into med school. I decided last minute that I wasn't going to go. And I actually had a full ride to these schools. So money actually wasn't even a cost or an option or a barrier, right? For me. And so I went with not being a doctor because I looked at what I would have done as a doctor. And if that would have made me happy, right? So what I was gonna do is, you know, I'm Indian, right? So everyone's like, oh, you got to be a cardiovascular surgeon. That's just like that's your path in life, right? And so I looked at it and I said, you know, I want to prevent these problems. I don't want to wait. I don't want to deal with people who have already kind of messed up, right? I want to prevent these problems. And I feel I can help more people. I can have a better impact on the world. Most people want to become a doctor to help people, right? I think you can help more people through this. And that's just me speaking, right? My skills are business. My skills are, you know, putting people together and forming a team and having that team produce value. Like that's one of my skills, right? And so for me, doctor wasn't the right move. But if you're like really passionate about helping people in a late stage, or you really believe that what you will be doing as a doctor is actually going to help people, then do it. Money's not an option. Look, never let money ever stop you from anything. If I had thought that, oh, you know, money is going to get in the way of me opening up a clinic, I would have never had anything right now, right? I went into extreme debt. Like I used to tutor kids to just pay our clinic bill when we first started, you know? And money is never an option, especially in education. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be something that takes a lot of money to do it. Take a loan. It doesn't matter, right? The money will come afterwards. If you're good at what you do and you're passionate, you will make so much money in the future, and that will be not even a problem in your eyes.
Well, I think that depends on what the person wants to do. So, like since we're talking about these high income fields like med school or something like that, I mean, you could kind of easily pay that back. But I think there's been kind of pushback on going to further school or colleges.
I think the pushback is because of what the financial return is after. You know, you're not, you know, doctors used to get paid way more, right?
Well, I'm not talking about specifically doctors. I'm talking about like art majors, for example, something like that.
That's true. Well, you don't really, in a case of art major, you don't really need school to,
I agree.
necessarily, increase your skill. You can do it in other ways, but as in other skilled fields, you do.
Well, yeah, and I agree. I think more skilled
Yeah.
fields, I mean, people should pursue college or something like that. But,
Yeah.
in terms of the majors that, like art majors or something like that, I don't really think you need to go to school for that. But there's been a lot of pushback that I've seen, especially on social media, about how college isn't the choice anymore. Like, it's not the end all be all, or, it's not like the one way to go.
I agree. Like I said, I had the Gates Millennium Scholarship, right? That covered me till like, it covered a master's degree, a PhD. It covered $1 million worth of college tuition, and I literally gave it back. I wrote them a letter saying I will never use this scholarship, and it was because I just didn't believe in that. Like, I didn't want to spend I knew my time. I knew what I wanted to do. I want to help a lot of people heal naturally. And I knew that doing all of that would not let me do that. So I let it all go.
That's a scary decision to make. If I was you, I would have been terrified. Like, I would have gotten that scholarship and been like, all right, this is dope. Like, I just got $1 million scholarship to pay for anything I want to do now. But to be in your shoes, like, I mean, I guess you got to be kind of risky, risk taking to be an entrepreneur, and you got that spirit, man. You got that spirit.
I love risk.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, it's paid off.
Fun. Yeah, risk is fun. I love risk. So you got to be calculated, though.
Calculated risk. That's the important part. That's where people kind of get wrong. People just kind of take the risk and don't calculate the repercussions until later.
Yep.
But we're approaching at about an hour, man.
Awesome, man. That was a good conversation.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate you answering some questions for our viewers. So your company again is called Iceberg Health.
Yep.
So and if we want to just show up, do we just say ask for you? Do we?
Well, I'll do this. So if you mention your podcast, I will give everybody. Let's see, give a free visit. So we'll give you a free X-rays, free exam.
No way.
And let's see. Yeah, we'll do free X-rays and a free exam. So
all right. Well, I'm about to post this on YouTube and Instagram. So
mention the podcast. You get free X-rays, free exam, and that'll give you a full idea into what your body is going through right now. So any sort of symptoms that you have, our doctors will help you find the root cause of that. And then after that, based on what their recommendation is or based on what you want to do, you can decide. So
hell yeah, dude. Well, thank you. I appreciate you extending that out to all of our viewers. Yeah, Dylan, you try to go this weekend? Hell yeah, I am. I'm trying to go immediately, man. So I guess I'll just be in touch with you then. Actually, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast now.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep you on for just a minute.
Okay.
But thank you, everybody, for checking us out. Remember, if you guys want to go visit Iceberg Health, make sure you mention Daydreams Podcast. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I love each and every one of you. Thank you, guys. See you guys later.